Hello, world, and welcome to it. It is season 2. Thank you, everybody. Calm down, calm down, calm down. Yeah, awesome. Thanks. I am Ryan, aka Crownson's Corner, aka the Healing Chefs, aka Scam Likely. There's a lot likely like me, but not really likely. He is I is him. Not so slim with the tilted brim. All right, so that is enough introduction from me in season 2, so that you know who I am. So let's get on to what the Healing Chefs is all about. The Healing Chefs is all about a chef is a leader uh, in the kitchen, and to me, the chef comes from the word chief, and not just from me, but that's where it comes from. And to that, anybody who is chief is a leader, and the chefs that I have on here, I believe, are leaders in their own way. Today we have Max, aka Deinglezzz, on here. Shout out to him. Thank you very much for coming in.
What up, guys? Thank you for having me out here today.
So, Deinglezzz is in the industry. He's the marketing manager for Nirvana. And also, he is a content creator, streamer, Call of Duty, all that kind of shit. I know you guys love it. We love it because we play and stuff like that. Sometimes I get on there and he makes me look really bad, but I suck and he's great. But it's all good. We have fun. There's some clips out there you can definitely tell because I'm usually way too high to be playing that damn game. But
yeah, it's definitely part of the lifestyle, though. That can definitely happen sometimes.
all right. Well, with that, can you, before we get into any segments, can you introduce the listeners and watchers exactly who you are and what you do?
Yeah, for sure. So I guess I'll start off with what I do in the cannabis industry. So my name is Max. I work in the cannabis field here in Arizona, specifically for Nirvana Center. And also Cookies Tempe is one of the first cookie store that launched here in Arizona. So yeah, just pretty much handle most of the marketing stuff from the marketing manager for them, and have been for the last 6 years now. I've been working for Nirvana, and
Fire.
definitely been quite the journey. Started off there as a bud tender, and then kind of within a year of working in the company, did more like the marketing stuff. Kind of as the company started to expand a lot, and now we have 9 stores out here in Arizona, and I think 11 stores out in Michigan and 4 stores out in Missouri, as well as a store out in Maryland. So just, constant growth from the
That's what's
one
up.
store that, was there when I first started. So, and then to kind of
Wow.
fast forward into, or to, kind of go into my streamer alias, I do go by Deinglezzz, which that's kind of my, part-time hobby career, that I've been pursuing for the last almost 3 years now, actually. It'll be 3 years in February. And yeah, that's been a lot of fun. My main goal with that's just to pretty much integrate the gaming and cannabis industries together all into one, because we know that there's a lot of gamers out there that like to smoke cannabis, and I've always noticed, like, whenever I go on Twitch or YouTube and watch a lot of these gamers play, is they don't really talk about cannabis or really ever smoke.
Yeah,
Maybe a couple of them, but not like the big ones. Like, they just don't even talk about it. So
for sure.
I just kind of wanted to kind of bridge that gap just with cannabis, like with kind of where it is now, and trying to build kind of that normalization of, smoking and gaming, and it not being like an issue. And so yeah, that's me. That's Deinglezzz, Max, and yeah, thank you again for having me, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate that. And we're going to go ahead and jump into the first segment. First segment is Cannabis Journey, and we'll talk about that.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, Cannabis Journey is all about how you yourself is a personal journey found cannabis, and then like where you're at with it now. Like myself, just in the rewinder, we started back in the day. I'm old. We had the brick weed and everything, and then obviously now we're up to like hash rosin and stuff like that. We still smoke just about everything, but yeah. How did you start, and where you at?
Yeah, I mean, I started smoking cannabis.
Oh, what are we doing? We need to smoke something.
Oh, let's do it.
I don't
Yeah,
know. So
light it up.
we're gonna light up this Preferred Gardens permanent marker. I don't know who rolled this. I tried to show it off on the feed last night, but I ended up losing the live because I was too high.
It happens.
Organic tip. I don't know if it was like Mike rolls that or whatnot, but we're gonna smoke this. Go ahead and like I said, sorry to interrupt.
No, no, you're all good. Is it cool? Am I able to move this a little bit closer to me? Or?
Yeah.
Cool. Hell yeah. Cool. Yeah, I started smoking cannabis when I was actually 16 years old. That's when I first got into it. Definitely noticed a lot of the medical benefits. I just kind of had anxiety at the time, and was kind of playing like a lot of sports. I was doing like a lot of tennis, and just noticed a lot of benefits honestly from smoking. And from like 16 or sorry, from like 18 to 21, that was when I started to really get kind of passionate about the plant. Started doing like a lot more research on it. I was telling like all my friends like, hey, like I really want to get into the cannabis industry. This was kind of like during the medical days, when it was kind of just starting to build its structure and things like that. And I just saw the future in cannabis, and that was just something that like within the first year or so of me smoking, I kind of discovered that. I kind of used to drink a lot when I was a little bit younger, kind of during that time too, and it just kind of steered me away from even the drinking and all that stuff, and I just kind of stayed strictly with smoking, and that was all that I really felt that I needed,
Yeah.
And when I was like, yeah, from like 18 to 21, I really, did all of my research and education. I attended a lot of expos that were, I like either in Arizona or even in different states too. I even went to California. I went to Las Vegas for the MJ BizCon I think I was 19 years old when I went there. And I just wanted to get my foot into the door, I wanted to try to network and just try to build as much connections as I could, because as we know, you can't work in the cannabis industry until you're 21. So I was just trying to do all that I possibly could, to just when I turned 21, just get right into the industry.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much what I did. So just attended expos.
I think you've done it the right way too, because I've seen a lot of people like jump in, even myself. And you had a really good direction. A lot of people jump in and they don't really have a direction or like that much drive. They just kind of want to be in the industry. They're just not really sure. Everyone loves weed,
Mm-hmm.
and people jump in, and after like you can love weed and jump into the cannabis industry and be like, oh shit, I don't want to do this at all.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, it's not just smoking out and hanging with your work friends. It's honestly a lot of work. And I kind of had that like built in my head that was definitely the case, and kind of before turning that age to where I was able to get into the industry, my passion was to try to get into growing actually. I was learning a lot about how to grow the plant,
Yeah.
different nutrients. I didn't have the hands-on application with it, but actually how I got into the industry is I met his name is Ian. He was going to be our master grower at Nirvana, which
We all love that word, master. Those words, master grower. But yeah,
well, yeah, master grower, director of cultivation,
20 years old, master grower.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
we all know that. Yeah,
It's
that's just a word or
yeah.
whatever,
It's no
but
disrespect. It's just funny.
yeah, but yeah, I pretty much got in connection with Ian, and he taught me a lot about growing, and he was just very like textbook with everything, and he was growing some really good quality cannabis, bro, like some of the best that I had seen actually. So
Yeah.
I was kind of like working under his wing a little bit, and then once I turned 21, I got right into Nirvana. And then yeah, again, started off kind of as more of like a bud tender. I feel like once you get into the industry,
I would roll
oh yeah,
that. There you go.
I feel like once you get into the industry, you really start to learn a lot more. I had thought that I had known a lot, but then I got into the industry and seen all the different products and things like that, and it's just a constant learning experience.
Yeah.
And so kind of fast forward to now, it's like, yeah, I still smoke on a daily. I'm more of a dabber myself. Whenever I'm
Right.
streaming, I'm usually dabbing. But I mean, unless it's some good flower like this actually tastes really good, by the way.
Yeah.
Um,
I really like the flavors of the permanent marker and the Zope, and we'll get into a little bit more of the review on them. It's a little more honest. If those that are listening, this week we had a drop in Arizona of preferred gardens and wizard trees, but we'll talk about that at the end. Right now, we're talking about the man here, Max, and his now. So with the dabbing and stuff, you also like. I like how you do it too because you're using the cold start. Not a lot of people use cold start.
Oh yeah.
And if you guys want to check out somebody with cold start bangers, OG Quartz, I don't know if there's anybody making them better than him.
No, honestly, not. Yeah, I think that there's a couple like people that are, or not people, but like how China always tries to take designs and make their own like
Everything.
cheaper shit. But like, yeah, like OG Quartz, he's like the main. If you're not getting it from OG Quartz, then it's not going to be like a legit cold start banger.
Yeah.
Because he has that shit patented. Actually, it's like a
Yeah.
patented design, and like honestly, the best way to cold start, because I've tried cold starting from like just a regular banger, and it's not as effective. I mean, like you'll still like
Yeah.
get the flavor and stuff, but like with an OG Quartz, like you'll get the flavor, and you'll also get a big hit too. For sure.
Yeah, it makes it recycle itself, and
Yeah.
shit's fire. So you've seen the switch also, how it's gone from like, since you said you started when the medical, you've seen the switch between like the shatter and crumble, which was like top notch, to the live resin, to the hash, to the live hash resin and stuff like that and everything.
Oh yeah.
But and a lot of people don't talk about like they don't go backwards and shit like that, but I like that you keep it accessible and stuff for people, especially on the stream when you're like giving stuff away, or even the stuff that you smoke and stuff yourself. Like I've seen a lot of people avoid cartridges and stuff like that, but I'm glad that you're like showing people what's good and what's not and stuff like that, still, while not alienating any market or anything like that. That's
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a smoker. If you hand me some shit, I'm probably gonna smoke it, unless it's like something really bad. But
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I feel like everybody has their own preferences in this market now, and I don't ever like to shame any brands or anything like that. But if I don't like a product, then I am gonna be honest about it. Because yeah, everybody has their own preferences. When it comes down to it, for sure.
Awesome. All right, so with that, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the second segment, which is Trip Tales.
Cool.
All right, so Trip Tales is all about psychedelics and your experiences with them. If you want to share that or not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally cool with that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so honestly, the first psychedelic that I tried was DMT.
Jeez, what in the what? Oh my god!
I just went right into it, bro.
Oh my god, it's scary.
Yeah, it was pretty scary, bro. It was definitely pretty scary. I wouldn't say that DMT is something that you can just casually try.
It's not a recreational drug.
No, not at all. Yeah, it definitely unlocks some things in your brain and in your mind that you don't think you had. They say that it like activates your pineal gland. Which is, they say, like your third eye and stuff. So that was definitely quite the experience for me. I mean, like when I first when I first tried DMT, it was more of like a smaller dose. So I didn't really have like the visual trip too much. It was more just to kind of like try it out and see like how it affected my body and everything like that. And like on a smaller dose, like it's definitely nice because I feel like it's just, you don't really get much mind activity going on. It's just more like in your body, and your mind almost just like shuts off, I feel, from it. But then when I tried it the second time, I honestly blasted off. It was a pretty intense dose. And initially I was like seeing all of like these different like formations and like eyes, almost like
fractals and stuff.
Yeah, like fractals, and seeing like a bunch of like eyes kind of floating.
Bro, that's like angels.
And dude, but like it like wasn't angels like at first though, bro, because it
No,
was
like angels in like the Bible, when they really like explain them, they're just like a mass of eyes and wings and shit. They don't look like people that they've drawn, or something that this is just alleged, folks. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely feel that like it was probably a mixture of both, honestly, because like I was like hearing this like this like weird ass like demon voice talking to me, bro. Like I was in like it was like telling me to like, it was like, get out, like never come back. And I was like,
It's
what
the
the
Jokers.
I was like, what the fuck, bro?
I
Like,
mean,
what,
the
like,
Jesters.
dude, I was like tripping out, and I just didn't know like even really what to do. And then I just kind of focused more like on my breathing, try to kind of calm myself down a little bit, and then ended up, you know, being fine afterwards. But that was like the initial like experience, you know. And I was like, damn, like they were telling me like not to come back and shit. Like, what is, you know, like what does that mean? And then I kind of did some research on it a little bit just to see like any other, you know, like, you know, people have the same experience almost. And yeah, you know, definitely. But they just say that, you know, these voices, they just like try to scare you. It's just like, you know,
No.
voices and whatever it is, just like, you know, trying to like drag you down and scare you. But it's just like if you fight it off and like try to, you know, surround yourself with more light, then it's like they'll all kind of go away and stuff. And like
That, yeah.
I like kind of related that with life almost, just like, you know, if you like crowd your thoughts with like negative like energy too much, then it's like you'll live that lifestyle. But it's like if you surround yourself with light, then it's like you'll push all that stuff away.
Absolutely.
And it just kind of gave me like a different perspective almost on life just from that one DMT experience, you know, which is I thought was definitely pretty cool.
Yeah, you got. I mean, growing up and stuff like that, I realized that, and that's something that you realize too. It's just like actions compound, and once you compound, you're creating.
Hmm.
Like you're creating layers of shit. Like if you're just laying down negativity and shit, you just made yourself a shit sandwich.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%.
So that's awesome because that's exactly what like the ketamine treatment did for me. Is just like kind of remove me from that. But like the DMT, when I tried that shit, each time those jesters or whatever were showing me things and trying to scare me away,
Hmm.
and it worked every time. The two times, and I'm like, all right, I'm out, dog. I'm not going. I'm not gonna hit it again. I'm not gonna hit. I'm not gonna hit again.
Yeah.
And then I try to. And then you have to sit there, and then if you give into that, which I strongly suggest, don't give into that.
Yeah.
Keep going and fight it if you're gonna do it, because then you have to sit within that reality that they've created until the shit's gone. And it's not a long time, but still, I sat through some crazy shit.
Yeah, I mean, and that is what's nice is it's not too long of a time, you know. It's like like a 10 or 15 minute
10 or 15
experience, but
minutes,
it
but
does feel a little bit longer when you're in it, though. Yeah, for sure.
feels like it's never going to end.
Yeah.
Also, when I've ever been like that high, I've always been like, they know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, immediately, like, there's like some sort of brainwave computer that they're catching my radio signals, and they're like, he's high again.
Yeah.
And it just starts freaking me out altogether. So
Yeah, no, they're always listening, man. It's crazy. No, but yeah, I mean, what I think is crazy though about the whole DMT experience is like if you have you ever like, you know, been in that state where like you're like almost kind of falling asleep and like you like you almost like feel yourself like have you ever like almost like fallen asleep and then like jolted awake
oh yeah,
and
yeah,
like just like felt like you're almost kind of falling?
yeah, yeah.
That's what I feel like the initial DMT feeling is like when you first smoke it and it's like you're like going up into like whatever this next dimension is. It's like that's almost like what you're experiencing. I feel like when you like fall asleep, that was like the same feeling that I got, you know, like that feeling of
Oh shit.
falling almost, you know. I
Yeah.
don't know if you've gotten that before.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just the DMT was like that jolt was just
Hmm.
extended for me. Was like the entire trip. Like
Yeah.
so just real quick because this isn't as much about me as it is about you. Um my trip, I was sitting in front of watching a YouTube show, Good Mythical Morning or whatever,
Hmm.
and everything that was in sight. I'm saying like this was like a video screen in my turned into uh like these strings of like tops that are spinning it. They're all different shapes, but it was just showing me that none of that like this is just a projection.
Right.
And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh shit. And then they're like, yeah, ha ha ha. And they're just like, what else can we show him? And they're just like, it's just like throwing all these like fractals and how all this right here is just like, if you just hit static and shit, and your whole site just, bro, it was insane.
They're just like trying to taunt you and shit.
They're like, this is bullshit. And it was just like, here's reality. Zip. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and then I didn't go any further because I didn't have any more at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just stuck in that reality for a while.
I feel that.
That was hell. So I
had to live with those thoughts.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. Like, yeah. But that I don't know about DMT. I think there's also those entities are there, and there's going to be times when you do it that you were supposed to do it,
mm-hmm.
and then you get guided through. But there's times like when you and I have done it, and we're not supposed to be doing it, and they're like,
yeah,
whew, guess what? Get the fuck out.
Yeah, I definitely think there's some preparation that needs to happen, mentally and or physically,
I was also alone, and with that kind of shit, you should really have someone there as a babysitter or a trip sitter.
Yeah, trip sitter is necessary.
I'm getting the cold chills talking about it because it's some crazy shit.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty powerful, man. But yeah, it can be used in a very spiritual way if you know how to use it right, kind of like what you're saying.
Yeah, everything with intention,
mm-hmm.
right? All right, let me see how we're doing real quick. Okay. We'll go ahead and jump into our break, and then we'll come back with mental health is wealth, which is a good segment that we need to go over.
Cool, let's do it.
Habari Entertainment Films present There's Only One Name for News with Damon and Iesha. Habari Live Podcast. Habari Entertainment, a race against time. On a quest for glory. Habari News Weekly, HabariEntertainment.com. Catch us for more. Visit us, HabariEntertainment.com.
Strawberry patch.
Oh, and we're back. Strawberry patch. Sorry, guys. We'll be talking about all this stuff that's out here in a little bit. But we're gonna go ahead and do mental health is wealth, and let it rain on your brain.
Boom.
Let it rain on your brain.
Oh, me?
No.
Oh.
I'm not stressed about it. Excuse me. So mental health is wealth. Is all about obvious mental health and kind of dealing with the different things that we have going on and stuff like that. I also tried to teach people if I know any like coping mechanisms that I use to help me get through situations and stuff. I kind of talk about that because maybe it'll help someone else. Because I know for myself, I didn't really have anybody to like talk about these things to. And eventually I found some people to talk about it with. And then I was like, oh, we have more in common than I really thought. Because sometimes when I get stressed out, I just start counting numbers, and more people do that than I realized. And so that's one mechanism that I do because I can control like math.
Oh, yeah.
I can't control my life all the time, but I can control math.
I mean, yeah, and your brain can only think of one thing at a time, I feel, so it's like if you distract it with one thing or like have like an anchor, for it, then
exactly. It's a bit of that's way more eloquent than I could have put it, but
hey,
yeah,
you still got a good point, of course.
Yeah, words. So with the mental health, with dealing especially with being in the cannabis industry, and you've been in for a while too. I was in for a while, and I like myself was like a bud tender for the most part, and I did a lot of bouncing back and forth, all because of like different mental health situations. Because I'm a veteran with PTSD and whatnot. How have you handled all the ups and downs with not only, I'm not talking like really the drama and stuff like that. I'm just talking about with the ups and downs of the regulations and the stress that it put on you guys, especially with the changing the different names of strains and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, because that's ridiculous. Like, that's ridiculous. People had to go start renaming shit. So
Yeah, no, for sure, bro. I mean, I feel like, the team at Nirvana, and, the corporate team that we have right now, and like everybody that's like in their, like operational position and things like that, they're definitely very passionate about the plant and also are very good about change. I feel like that's like the biggest thing is like you just have to be adaptable in this industry, and like and be cool that that things change almost every single day. So yeah, we've all just kind of worked together as a team. We have a compliance team that pretty much handles all like the different strain names, and
that's
just
insane.
kind of makes sure that makes sure. I mean, there's no real fine line. It's more just like based off of discretion, but like observational discretion almost of what is good and what's not for like a strain name that is going to pass. Um,
Could
but
you,
yeah,
real quick, I didn't explain it. Can you explain to people exactly what happened and what you guys had to do?
yeah, just with like
The strains that.
yeah, like the rec strains, like I guess like in order for it to be recreational, it can't be like targeted to children in any way or have any sort of like candy in it or I don't know the exact guidelines, but like those are the two main things that I know
Right.
it is. So yeah, it's just like we had to get creative with changing the names, and then some strains we just couldn't change the name, and we just had to make it like a med only strain. Because yeah, you can sell it to medical
That's
patients
crazy.
if it like has if it doesn't fall under rec, you can still sell it to medical patients. It's kind of strange. Yeah, it doesn't make much sense, but I feel like that
It's a
that
weird thing.
guideline's changing almost or it's like adjusting a lot.
It's just with this whole industry. I mean, like they try something like, that wasn't the best idea. Pull it back, redo it, and everything. And there's like just a bunch of like different states doing this stuff. So it's, I know it would be like it's like a stressful situation to do all that kind of stuff. But with that, brings the question with how have you dealt with the different pop ups and flare ups of the different like drama and stuff, and trying to keep a clear head in this industry, because there's not a lot of people in this industry, and I was one of them for a long time, and every once in a while I still pop off, and I mean I need to fix that myself too. I'm not perfect, like I said. It says healing
Yeah,
shares, but
nobody's perfect though.
how have you dealt with that? And just, I mean, I don't know. Like it's crazy because you almost want to align with a lot of people. You like some of the stuff they're doing, and then all of a sudden they do something, and you're like, why? And then it becomes a whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough. We've definitely cut off some like relationships with some of the partners that we work with over the years, unfortunately. And that's just part of the cannabis nature is that you kind of see the true colors sometimes of some people, and who's really in the industry for the right reasons and who's not. But yeah, I mean, I just try to go to work every day with like a level head. Just know that like kind of like I said earlier, is that things almost change like every single day in the industry, and you have to be fine with that. And you can't really complain. Like I've like never been like much of a complainer. I just always kind of go to work, and if I'm told something that I have to do, it's like, all right, I'll just try to get it done, and that's
Yeah.
always just kind of been my mindset. And I think that cannabis definitely helps me kind of get through that though, because if I
Yeah.
didn't, if I wasn't smoking, I'd probably would have had some moments, but
For sure.
but no, it's in plus Nirvana's always treated me like family, and I've always learned too that life is kind of just perspective, just kind of how you see things. And I know that cannabis in itself, like the industry isn't structured. So like I've come to accept that like if some things aren't as structured as they should be, then that's fine, but we still live in an exciting time where there's a lot of growth in the industry to happen, and it's still almost like the infancy stages of cannabis, just because it hasn't been federally legalized yet, and there's
Right.
still a lot of restrictions on it and things like that. But it's I look at it as an exciting time, and there definitely are people, yeah, that that kind of work in the industry that sometimes have some hard days, and it can be kind of hard to see that, but that's kind of what I try to look at, kind of like the bigger picture of things,
Absolutely. And sometimes you just got to remove yourself from different situations. Like you said, no longer can work with certain people after certain things happen and stuff.
Yeah.
And I have a few people that I have like that in the industry, and I don't want to, go after them or anything like that. But like,
Yeah.
we just like, there's just certain times when we get to be these adults and stuff, and we set up these boundaries that we just don't need to like go and like address everything and be like, hey, I'm not talking to you anymore. Like
Yeah.
that's a conversation that doesn't need to be said. They can just
Mhm.
move on, and people will get it and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
I myself used to just be like, I gotta say the last thing. And that's got to stop and everything. We got to be a little bit more, especially in this community, we have to be a lot more supportive.
Mhm.
We have a lot of people starting new podcasts and stuff like that too. I would hope people go out and support that. I'm going to shout them out here on this next segment. Sorry if I'm shaking a little bit. I'm a little cold. I should have worn a jacket.
Yeah, no, it's all good, bro. I'm like cold too for some reason,
It's
and I even have a jacket on. But I get cold super easy.
Arizona. It's ridiculous.
Exactly.
You never know what the hell to wear. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into the promo, which is Plug Talk.
Plug talk.
Electricity through your veins.
It's definitely dope.
It's pretty cool. I just like, man, I've just had so much fun like creating different this digital art stuff and everything, and like knowing that I didn't know anything to now is pretty fun. And but like yours is next level. Shout out to this man with the you need to go if you don't follow him on TikTok. He's got way too like something K followers or some shit, and he streams all the time. You want to go ahead and plug your stuff? I'm hot. I'm plugging for you.
Yeah, no, you're all good, bro. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I do try to, from my streams, I stream. What is it, Wednesdays and the weekends? Typically, and during like the week and stuff, almost like every single day. I try to post every day if I can, but if it's not every day, then it's every other day that I'm, usually posting something onto Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Usually like short form content, stuff that's like 30, 45 seconds. I'm trying to get more into the longer form content, like, posting actual like highlight clips just to like YouTube. I just, some of the best like, gaming clips kind of while I'm smoking or kind of things like that. I'm trying to get
For sure.
more into that realm. But as of now, yeah, just trying to, post, trying to stay consistent with posting either every day or every other day. And yeah, I love editing. I actually took broadcasting in high school, and I did a lot of editing when I was younger too. When I was like a kid, I don't know if you recall the program.
See,
What was it?
this is definitely why you're ahead of me. Cause but back in the day, like when I was a kid, when we did like computer shit in school, I was like making CDs for people.
Hell yeah,
that was about as advanced as it was back then. But yeah, yeah.
LimeWire and stuff like that.
Oh, bro, I was making the jams, bro. Like I don't, yeah, but yeah, for sure. LimeWire, BearShare.
Oh yeah,
Shout out BearShare, fucking LimeWire, all that.
yeah,
Torrent, BitTorrent, or
yeah,
yeah.
BitTorrent. I think that FrostWire was one of them too.
FrostWire, yeah.
Back in the day, bro.
For sure. I didn't really like Napster.
I never used Napster.
They're trying to make you pay.
Yeah.
It's like, no way,
Screw
dude.
that.
I'm trying to borrow this indefinitely.
Yeah, no. Like, what's the point of paying if you're just trying to download it, obviously, for certain.
I don't know
reason.
where we went on that one.
But
but yeah, definitely go follow him. It's Deinglezzz at DINGLEZZZ. That's 3 Z's. Yeah. Hopefully we'll be on like I'm gonna be gaming later and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm so high. Like, god damn it.
you wanna smoke some more?
Yeah. What do you want?
You want to do the melon bar?
Yeah, sure. All right. So
I think you'll like that one.
we're gonna smoke. This is some of the Nirvana, the cookies. This is the melon blunt. God damn it.
It's a little 2 gram blunt ski.
Oh. Ready? ASMR, everybody.
Oh.
Fresh.
That was hot. Sorry. Oh. This is turned into an ASMR podcast now. I'm gonna start whispering.
Sorry, guys. I'm not sorry. All right. So, as I'm lighting this, do you want to go ahead and explain? Like, we got a glass tip.
Yeah, so it's got a glass tip there, a hemp wrap, and then 2 grams of flour as well too, which is the strain Melon Bar. It's got kind of like the melon terps, like mango kush almost, kind of like that terp profile I was kind of getting. I kind of want to see what your thoughts are on that one. And yeah, I don't think that they like fully grind the buds up. You can kind of see the buds. There's like kind of like some chunks in there because like from what I've heard with blunts is like you don't want to grind it up.
Yeah, it's kind of running
too fine, huh? Yeah,
track star.
They can sometimes do that.
Track star. Usain Bolt.
It's all right. Well, it should even out there. Have you tried any of the Cookies products yet?
No. See, I used to work for Nirvana, and I haven't been to one since.
I feel that.
And it wasn't really like the bad experience from management or anything.
Yeah.
It's just that weird shit that happens in a dispo with like drama and shit like that. And I just like, I wasn't getting paid enough to like deal with that shit.
Yeah, it's definitely understandable, dude.
And me myself, I'm 39 years old. I'm not a spring chicken, but I'm not old. But also trying to like work as I tried to do it recently too, at a place, and I'm not an entry level cannabis person like I was a long time ago. So trying to be that again is just like, what am I doing? I could be spending.
They're asking you. Question mark is asking, have you met Burner?
Yeah, I've actually met Burner a few times. Yeah, at the grand opening, actually, at the Cookies grand opening on June 24th. I was actually, kind of helping set up the event and stuff like that with the Cookies team. So, we all kind of got a chance to meet him and kind of go through like the meet and greet and just, make sure that the flow and everything was going good. So, yeah, definitely on the grand opening day, which that was a crazy day. That was the most people that I've ever seen at our dispensary, man. That was just nuts. And then also too at the Burner concert too, he ended up. Do you like the flavor on that one?
So it's, I mean, I get the font and all the shit. Like it tastes kind of like it's got like a honeydew kind of a vibe at the end of it.
Yeah, right.
It's catching up. That is odd. I guess it's the way that the bud lit up, but I mean, it is catching up. So it's starting to try to even out. I'm smoking it. It's good. It's not, I'm not going to say it's like the top, but like it's good. I mean, I'm going to continue smoking.
Yeah. I actually like that. Melon Bar one. I thought that the flavor was pretty on point though. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this right now. I expected to not like it.
Nice. Hey, well,
I came into Cookies going, because I work for Nirvana and I've had Nirvana weed a lot and stuff like that. But I also saw the kind of change that you guys went through. So I was a little bit nervous about it. And then throwing the cookies on top of it, because I used to buy all the cookies in the Valley, like not like buy them out, but any strain that dropped, me and shout out Espinoza, AZ or whatever. He would go get some for me and I would go get some for him, allegedly, back in the day. And if we, if like shit was out or something, drops and stuff, and we would make sure everyone got whatever the fuck. But the shit was like not that good. Eventually, it was just like at first it was like, okay, it was hype and stuff in the bags and everything.
Yeah.
So that's why I was a little nervous. But no, man, this is.
Yeah. And
somebody, I think Frank said cookies are mid.
I mean, I'm telling you right now, like I just said, it's not top tier.
Yeah, but, I mean, and you also kind of have to think too, like it is when it comes to like a brand trying to scale out to like a different state, it's like you have to kind of consider that too, is like, you know,
Show me
trying to cultivate a different strain, or sorry, the same strain in a different cultivation in a different state with different people. You know, there's just so many things that can go wrong there. But yeah, I feel like Arizona definitely did a great job. Like our, you know, warehouse and everything definitely lived up to the cookie standards. You know, from like what the cookies team even says, and even Berner himself said, like he said that we have some of the best AMF that he's ever seen.
Speaking of which, it's right here. Should I pop this open?
Shit, yeah, do it.
All right.
That one was a little bit maybe a couple months old, so the freshness hopefully is still there. When I was kind of feeling it, it was still feeling nice and moist. So we'll give it like a little freshness test.
You're good. You're good.
I know is the lines were around the corner.
Yeah. No, this shit is fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
like
it's terpy. You know, I mean, so look. Yeah, as I'm looking at it, for sure, it's mids, whatever. I mean, but here's the thing. We know what I've been smoking a lot of. Do you know like the brand Made?
Mm-hmm.
All right, brand Made is like mids, but I feel like it's on the highest end of mids that there can be. And it's an accessible price point. It's different kind of strains, and you get to have fun with it and shit, and you're not blowing out the bank. And those are running like 45, 50, and 8.
Yeah.
And what are these running?
I think they're 50 now.
50?
Yeah.
So you're getting what you're paying for. Like if you really want some crazy shit, you can go find some crazy shit. But yeah,
exactly.
This is a good smelling, smokable weed. You're not gonna like impress the fucking heady boy that you really want him to follow you.
Yeah.
These guys that are getting upset.
Yeah,
like,
no, for sure. I mean,
but if you're I feel like mids and stuff like that is like the skater form of weed. We like really great shit. We don't always have the most money, but we still like to enjoy like the really good shit. So like, why be a dick?
Yeah, and you know, I feel like there's always going to be a home grower out there that's going to always have the best quality, or always have better quality. You know,
it's home growers lately so hard because their weed is so much better.
Yeah, and it's because they don't have as many plants to tend to. It's like when you're in a commercial space, there's just a lot of things that you have to factor in, and when it does go commercial, quality does inevitably go down a little bit just because there's so many plants that you have to deal with.
Yeah, it's it's eventual, and we like. The one thing, especially in this industry, especially in Arizona, that we need to do it is be more accepting and more understanding, and like just let more people in. That's crazy smelling, right? Out of here, people.
Some terps.
Could be like just because one person said that they love Creed, you don't have to love fucking Creed, dog. Like, be your own person, man.
Try yourself.
Exactly.
God damn, the people that you're trying to impress with what you're doing aren't even around when you're doing it. So what are you doing? Fucking quit wasting time. Anyway, sorry.
You see that Creed's making like a comeback?
Huh?
You see that Creed's making like a comeback?
I saw that shit, but like no one was listening to fucking Creed or posting that shit, and then all of a sudden everyone's posting it. I'm like look, you can like stuff that's not popular, and it doesn't matter. Like you don't have to like all of a sudden see like Jersey Mike's commercials, and now everyone loves Jersey Mike's. Like, it's still processed food, fools. You're still eating bologna.
Exactly, yeah.
And the everyday buyer doesn't really know these things. I mean, even now I've been smoking for 20 years. I still don't know some of this shit I be talking about.
That's why I'm saying it's like the heady boys that are getting all pissed off.
Right, exactly.
Like, this shit sucks. This is mids. Okay, change the channel, son. That's why there's multiple channels, and that's why there's a remote.
Right.
Yeah, it's like it should be seen more as a community and not trying to bash one another, but
it's hard, dog.
But yeah, it is definitely hard, but hopefully we'll all get there. I think that we will get there eventually.
Yeah, so
we're all stoners at the end of the day,
Yeah, even I have to tell myself constantly, I'm like, fucking relax. Even right now.
Shit.
But so I did get some Zope from it was Preferred Gardens. This is I believe allegedly, well anyway, Arizona. But I also got some of that permanent marker that we were smoking earlier. And I was checking out the buds and everything, and I really like the smoke. Both of them are super terpy. Like We smelled this earlier, but I mean, I love the terps on them. But
Let's see.
that's the permanent marker.
Yeah.
This is like
yeah, it's definitely got that sherbet nose for sure.
Yeah, and then this is the Zope, and it's definitely got that super floral, sweet candy kind of. I had a thought in my head what that smelled like, but the only thing,
It's
like,
got kind of a sourness to it too.
right. Look at the buds themselves, and I had taken some pictures and whatnot, and kind of looking at that. I don't like. And I had taken pictures with flash and stuff like that. I'm not trying to, like, they wanted me to give an honest review. Smoke's really great. The high's good, like we smoked it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It wasn't as icy and stuff as the wizard trees and stuff that may be the strains or maybe the way that it was like being held, however it was being held. But
yeah,
in my honest opinion, the looks could have been better.
Mhm.
But also I'm just super like thankful that I got this stuff, and it smokes really well, and it's a great high, and it is super high in terps, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. Which that
I just don't think
feel
like, especially it wouldn't be like a hash producer.
Yeah, because you need something a little bit more triked out, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
But to be like for sure, looking at the cookies or whatnot, it is obviously a step up from the cookies, even though this is a little bit older. That may not be fair for the cookies.
That's okay.
But
as long as it's still got the nose,
But I mean, as I believe these brands in Cali separate themselves maybe a little bit like they already are right now. I don't know, but I wish I would have got some of the laser gun, because we did smoke some of that on the podcast before from Preferred Gardens.
I actually tried some of the laser gun, bro. Yeah, that shit was fucking. That was
fire.
Yeah. That was like before they launched. It was kind of like an R&D.
Nice.
And then bro, like I don't really smoke a whole lot of flower, but nor does my lady. But we were both like smoking it and just like fucking like, damn, this shit tastes fucking good, man. Like holy shit, it tastes really really good.
And speaking of that, like the wizard trees, I don't have any more in there.
Dude,
but
what happened?
There's this monster that comes by and like smokes all my weed. I don't know.
Fuck.
I don't know. He's not here right now.
Good.
But he already smoked that weed that we had. But yeah, so this was the 1111, which is the RS11 backed on itself, or RS11 times RS11. And definitely that's a review I just did. That one was fire. The only thing, and I have this Rainbow Runs pre-roll here. I haven't smoked it yet, and everything was great about like the wizard trees. There's the only thing that I was hearing from a lot of people that were in my DMs was like they wish that they got the 1111 instead. That maybe they weren't as pleased with the other ones, but I don't know. I haven't even tried them yet, so we'll find out. But honest opinions and stuff like that. I haven't even tried this, so I don't know. But like you saw the picture, if you see the pictures and stuff on the profile, this shit looks really good.
Yeah, it looks super icy for sure.
And I can't shut the fuck up. This weed, fire. This like you guys may not like it. You guys may not like the brand or whatever. That I'm high as shit off of it. Also, what is this, bud?
Those are just some little. I like to microdose a lot on mushrooms, so I make my own capsules and things like that. And the last, I say like the last couple of months, I've just been kind of experimenting with kind of microdosing. Taking 1 or 2 capsules a day, and I've been noticing a lot of great benefits from it. From my like anxiety and just having just kind of more of like a cleanse for your mental health. Like I would say, it's like it's very cleansing. Like I feel just very clear. So yeah, that's just 5 caps for you, man, just to kind of enjoy on your own time. And
for sure,
little microdose action.
Those are lion's mane.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Functional mushrooms.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but shout out. I got to meet like the Preferred Gardens guys. Those were great. Those guys were great and everything. I'm glad they did their job. But shout out to again Made, Project Packs, all of them, Sin City Seeds. Also shout out No Mids Chino. He's gonna have a podcast through here coming up soon. I don't know exactly when. Make sure you go check in with him. Shout out to Chris Martin, Convicted Creations, and Chef Derek AZ. They have a podcast coming out.
Oh, dope.
And those are some high level chefs, and not talking just with weed. Those are like I'm fans of them.
Oh yeah.
So fuck yeah.
Derek's that guy on Netflix, right? The
For sure.
Netflix show, yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Oh, you had him on, right?
Yeah, I was lucky to have him on. Yeah, I'm
Nice.
not trying but we're gonna get him back on here. Help him maybe help promote that shit too, because that's dope. Not that he really needs it. People already know who he is. But yeah. Shout out to them. What do you have to promo plug? Ryan talking take 2.
Yeah, so I guess if you guys want to check out the Deinglezzz stream, I'm usually streaming on Wednesdays and the weekends, always dabbing on the most fire terps that I can possibly find, and playing video games usually. Warzone, Call of Duty is typically the game that I play a lot, and yeah, make sure you guys fucking hop in there. Let's smoke on some fire terps together.
Where can they find you though?
Oh,
especially for Spotify listeners.
Right, yeah. So Twitch and YouTube, I'm streaming simultaneously on both as of right now. So
just go to YouTube and search Deinglezzz, Dinglezz. Again, Dinglezz. I know we're all stoners, so I needed to repeat this shit.
Oh, hell yeah.
You can rewind it anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. So, to see what we have going forward, my phone is absolutely blown up for some reason. Next week, and also, Green Craft Jake out of Michigan said sorry that he couldn't be here. They had a fertigation problem or whatnot, and he's got to take care of that or whatnot. But he's already set to be a floater in case anybody has to cancel or anything. He's going to come. We're going to reschedule him.
Oh, nice.
But next week, we do have Superstition and Hemp, and as long as everything's going, Pheno Rich coming on the podcast. So pretty fucking, everybody. Yeah. Oh, okay. Everybody's excited. All right.
Hell yeah.
Pheno
Rich.
Pheno Rich.
Who's Pheno Rich again? Doesn't he is he a rosin guy, or he's just like a
phenotype with flower, like weed? And
okay. I'm thinking of
he's,
someone else. Dude.
Yeah. No, we'll get it on. Oh, we'll get him tagged and all sorts of shit and get his flyer coming up and stuff.
Hell yeah.
But also I may try to jump. I'm gonna jump on doing the gaming if you guys want to do that later tonight. Anything else? Let me see if I have anything else that I didn't help plug. Habari. Shout out Habari Entertainment. Make sure for any podcast and video needs, go to HabariEntertainment.com. Again, HabariEntertainment.com. Go check it out.
HabariEntertainment.com.
All right. So all right, it's been a great thank you very much for being here for the first episode of season 2, and I'm excited. So right,
thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah. All right, so tap in, smoke up, trip out. Love y'all. Out of here.
Yes, sir. No, yeah, it's all good, bro.